I'm Denisse, and I'm a candle maker and candle business owner. A little over a year ago, my husband took me on a date for Valentine's Day, and he took me to a candle making workshop. While we were there at the workshop, they asked us like a little icebreaker thing. They went around the table and asked us what if we were a candle, what kind of candle we would be. And so when it came to be my turn, I said I would be a coffee candle because I love coffee. And so we did the workshop. It was a lot of fun, and afterwards, the thought just kind of kept going through my mind. I wonder if I could make a candle that looked and smelled like coffee. And so I did, over the next couple of weeks, I did some research on what it was that I would need to make candles and, what kind of wax and what kind of wicks and all that kind of stuff. I decided, okay, I'm going to try this. So I made a candle, and it looked and smelled like coffee, and it had the whipped cream on the top. I figured out how to do that, and it was just this really cool little candle. And so I tried it again. I made a few more, and then I ended up with, maybe like a dozen of these coffee kind of candles, and I tried different scents and things like that. So they were very cool. And then I thought, what am I going to do with all these candles? I wonder if anyone would buy them. I did a little research, and I found a local flea market where I could just rent a table for the day, and it was really inexpensive. And I thought, okay, that's worth trying. And so my husband and I packed up all the candles one day, and we went to this little flea market. I had made a few more by that time. And on that first day, we sold like $200 worth of candles. And I thought, okay, this might be something. And this thing just started growing, people were actually buying the candles. So we decided to give it a name. The name of the company is the Coffee Candle Company, and that's because of how the whole thing started, with one candle that looked and smelled like coffee. So around the time that we were starting up this business and just kind of getting off the ground and seeing that people were actually buying our candles, we had been watching a church service online every week. And a couple of weeks before, we had seen a pastor preach. It was a guest pastor from the Benton Harbor, Michigan area. And as part of his sermon, he was bringing up that they had a project going at their church, and that they needed volunteers, and also that if people could help financially for their project, that they would really, truly appreciate that. I knew the Benton Harbor community because I actually had taught there in that school district for 10 years, a long time ago. And so I knew the families and the students, and I know the needs that are there. And so when I heard this pastor talk about the needs for this particular project that they were doing, I thought, boy, it would be really great to be able to be there and help in any way that I could. But I was 1,000 miles away because we were still living in South Carolina at the time. And so the thought came to me that as we were selling these candles, I thought, well, why don't we donate some of our proceeds from the sales of our candles to help financially with this project that they were working with. We decided from that moment on that every candle sale, every workshop, every dollar that comes into our business, that we would donate a percentage of that to this ministry in Benton Harbor. So it's been really neat to be able to see how our business has grown and how much we've been able to increase our giving to that ministry to help these families in need. So one of the things that's been really kind of amazing to us is the different places and opportunities that have given us a chance to share the candles in one way or another. One thing has led to another, to another, to another. We've had the opportunity we've been asked to do custom candles for people, and most recently a major hotel in the area has asked if we could create a candle specifically for them, and so we're working through that to find just the right scent for their hotel that they like. And it's been amazing how every door has opened to another one and another one and another one. And early on, when we saw that all of these things were starting to happen, I just said, okay, I'm gonna just say yes to what comes up. I'm not gonna, if these are opportunities that God is putting in front of me, then I'm not gonna say no. And I'm just gonna say yes and see where things lead. One of the things that I think we as Christians tend to think is that we can't really, or we don't really have a way to make any kind of a difference unless we are a missionary somewhere traveling halfway around the world to live there and do something big, or that kind of thing, or to go to somewhere and build a church or whatever, and a lot of us don't have the time or the funds or the opportunity to go and do the big missionary things. And so I think we tend to kind of dismiss what we can do. I've seen through this that God opens opportunities and doors for us in ways that we can't even imagine of how we can help other people. I never set out to be a missionary through a candle company, but the more that I've done it and the more people that I talk to about what we're doing and the ministry that we donate to, the more I have seen that this is a ministry. There's been a lot more light shed on that part of it, and the fact that, yeah, it could be that it's just a little candle company or that it's just a candle, but every one of those candles provides an opportunity to provide funding for a ministry right here in town, right here in this community, where people really need it most. Whether it's something like making a candle and selling it and donating something, or anything, whatever we can do. You may have a skill that you can do, something that I can't do. I think that the key is to ask God to show you what you can do, and to be open to that leading. If you get an idea about trying something, try it, do it, and see where it goes, and if you see those doors opening and the opportunities that are there in front of you, yeah, it's scary. It's terrifying. It's terrifying to see my business grow, because I think, oh, am I going to have time for this? Or am I going to have the funds to continue? Is this sustainable? But I keep stepping forward, and I keep continuing to ask for guidance and for blessing, and it keeps happening. So there's nothing that's too small to be able to help God in some way. That's why we're here on this earth, is to help God, to bring people to Him and to point to Jesus. And if we can do that, even if it's just with one candle, then you're helping Jesus. You're helping God to bring people to Him. And that's what I've discovered through this journey.